everyone, my name is Vina, aka Miss WOCReader, and welcome back to my channel. And this big stack of books is what I'm hoping to tackle during the month of August. So let's get into my August TBR. I really said, let me grab some options, and then I went a little bit overboard and grabbed a huge stack. And I don't know if I'm actually going to get to all of these books because I did start a new job recently. Now, I don't have a lot of time to read during the day. I do have like an hour lunch, so I can squeeze a little bit of audiobook listening in during that time. When I am hybrid in a couple of months and I'm able to work from home, I anticipate getting a lot more read during the day. So I'm mainly sticking to reading on my way to work. It's like a 15 to 20 minute drive depending on the morning, so I have a little bit of time then, and reading during lunch breaks, and then reading on my way home and after work, obviously. But a lot of what I'm diving into this month is going to be romance. August is a weird time. We are in the dog days of summer, and on one hand it is hot and I don't want to do anything and I just want to read light, easy breezy reads, but at the same time fall is just around the corner and I want to read fantasy, I want to horror, I want to read dark things. So I tried to find a balance between the two. This is the Duke's Defiant Cinderella. This is by Parker J. Cole. I've been meaning to read this one for a while. When did this one come out? Yeah, October of 2022. So it has been on my shelf for almost 2 years now. So what better time to pick it up than now? As a servant girl who discovered she was the long lost daughter of a comte, Lila Moreau is no stranger to scandal. Now, more famous for her art, she won't have her independence threatened by the return of her betrothed, Bastien Duc de... I'm not trying to butcher this French, y'all. As a new attraction sizzles between them, Lilas is relieved he wants to end their secret marriage contract. But a summons from the Queen means they're forced to continue their charade. I don't read a lot of historical romance, and this one has been on my shelf for 2 years almost now. And I kind of pick up a couple of historical romance a year. Sometimes it tends to fall into that virgin to porn star trope that I don't really like, but I found this intriguing from the jump, and I want to read this and a couple other ones from the author, so I need to get into it. Now this is definitely right up my alley. This is Stuck in the Country with You by Zuri Day. I love a good small town, country style black romance. 10 years ago, Genesis Washington made a very poor decision. At the time, it seemed great, fantastic, explosive. But the truth is, your one night rebound should never be your younger brother's rival. And he definitely shouldn't be someone who allegedly only slept with you to gain the upper hand, even if the sex was amazing. Now Genesis is blindsided when the farm she's inherited just happens to be right next door to Jackson King, the regrettable one-night stand she's still painfully attracted to. This man has aged like the finest of wines, and worse, he's now a thoughtful and responsible father. Good thing Genesis has a cough cough long-distance boyfriend. Well, sort of. It's complicated. Jackson and his hotness should be easy enough to ignore, but when city girl Genesis discovers there's a serious learning curve to her humble new home, it's Jackson who's there to lend a very skilled helping hand. With every problem that arises, Jackson is seemingly making all the right moves both on the farm and when things heat up behind closed doors. But surely that doesn't mean he's right for Genesis, does it? So this was one of the Afterglow books. It came out last year. I didn't have time to read it when I wanted to read it. But Afterglow imprint is actually going away. For me, I found that Harlequin never quite understood what to do with Afterglow. They did as this new imprint that was going to have these fresh, amazing, diverse stories. But then a lot of the authors were just people who already wrote for Desire, who they kind of moved over. And like a lot of the editing was a little bit wonky on some of them. Quite a few of them I ended up DNFing. And I just don't feel like they put as much attention into it as they should have. They seem more focused on trying to bait the TikTok girls with the cartoony covers, and they've been through going through a revamp right now where they're trying to move away from what made them them. So I'm curious to see the future of Harlequin, but this is one that I was definitely intrigued by. I've read Zuri Day before, and I'm hoping this one is super cute. Donut Fall in Love by Jackie Lau. At this point, I joke that I am Jackie Lau's biggest fan because I have so many of her books, even though I haven't loved a book I've read by her yet. But as always, I am hopeful. At this point, I just want to read through the ones that I have, which at this point, I have like 10 of her books because I've gotten so many of them for free. And I'm going to read through them till I find one that I enjoy. This one seems super cute. Actor Ryan Kwok is back in Toronto after the promotional tour for his latest film, a rom-com that is getting less than stellar reviews. After years of constant work and the sudden death of his mother, Ryan is taking some much-needed time off. But as he tries to be supportive to his family, he struggles with his loss and doesn't know how to talk to his dad, who now trolls him on Twitter instead of meeting him for dim sum. Innovative baker Lindsay McLeod meets Ryan when he knocks over 24 specialty donuts at her bakery. Their relationship is off to a messy start, but there's no denying their immediate attraction. When Ryan signs up for a celebrity episode of Baking Fail, he asks Lindsay to teach him how to bake, and she agrees. As Lindsay and Ryan spend time together bonding over grief and bubble tea, it starts to feel like they're cooking up something sweeter than cupcakes in the kitchen. So yeah, it sounds super sweet and cute. I love a good romance that talks a lot about baked goods because I love some baked goods. Gonna try and bake some stuff later. And like I said, I am reading through all of my Jackie Lau books. So I'm gonna try to read through them through the beginning of next year because I'm probably not gonna finish reading all of them by the end of this year. The Romantic Agenda by Claire Kahn. This is another author who I really do want to find a book I love. I know she often writes a lot of ace romance, and I read 2 books from her so far that I wasn't completely a fan of. This one has been sitting on my shelf for years also. It's supposed to be sweet. A lot of people did like this one, so I'm willing to give it a chance. 30, flirty, and asexual, Joy is secretly in love with her best friend Malcolm, but she's never been brave enough to say so. When he unexpectedly announces that he's met the love of his life, and no, it's not Joy, she's heartbroken. Malcolm invites her on a weekend getaway, and Joy decides it's her last chance to show him exactly what he's overlooking. But maybe Joy is the one missing something, or someone, and his name is Fox. Fox sees a kindred spirit in Joy and decides to help her. He proposes they pretend to fall for each other on the weekend trip to make Malcolm jealous, but spending time with Fox shows Joy what it's like to not be the third wheel, and there's no mistaking the way he makes her feel. Could Fox be the romantic partner she's always deserved? No, like I said, it's been on my shelf for a while. I am intrigued. This would be the 3rd book that I read by this author, and hopefully I enjoy it. Switching gears, this is Sunny Hostin's Summer on Highland Beach. This has been on my shelf for about a year now, so I want to just finish out this series. I enjoyed the first 2 books. I love the vibes of this. This is the type of women's fiction that I live for. So yeah, this should be a very easy, quick read. I'm going to be listening to it on audiobook because I do love the narrator for this series. This is Beasts of Carnival by Rosalia Rodrigo, and I saw Puerto Rican fantasy and got excited. Within the shores of Isla Bestia, guests from around the world discover a utopia of ever-changing performances, sumptuous feasts, and beautiful monsters. Many enter, but few ever leave. The wine is simply too sweet, the music too fine, and the revelry endless. Sophia, a freed woman from a nearby colonized island, cares little for this revelry. Born an enslaved mestiza on a tobacco plantation, she has neither wealth nor title, only a scholarly pragmatism and a hunger for answers. She travels to El Carnaval de Bastias in search of her twin brother who disappeared 5 years ago. There's a world of wonder waiting for her on the shores of this legendary island, one wherein conquerors profit from Sophia's ancestral lands and her people's labor. But surrounded by her former enslavers, she finds something familiar in the performances: whispers of the island's native tongue, music and stories from her ancestors, a culture long hidden in the shadows, thrust into the light. As the nights pass, her mind begins unraveling, drowning in the unnatural, almost sentient thrall of Carnival, and the sense that someone is watching her grows. To find her brother and break free, Sophia must peel back the glamorous curtain and face those behind Carnival before she loses herself to the island. So this is actually a Harlequin book, which I am very surprised because it is a little bit out of their wheelhouse, but that synopsis, it got me excited. I can't wait to check this one out. They sent it to me too late to read for July, so I had to put it on my August TBR. Last, but certainly not least, we have Psychopomp and Circumstance by Eden Royce. This is a novella. I shared before in a previous video how excited I was to find this one. I've heard nothing but great things about it. It is a historical Southern Gothic fantasy. A couple of friends have already read it, and it was such a quick, easy read for them. They had a good time with it. I talked about this one enough this year, so the next time you hear me talk about it, I will be sharing all my thoughts. That's everything that I plan on reading during the month of August. Let me know if any of these books intrigue you. Since some of them are older, let me know if you have read them. And if you like this video, make sure and hit that like button. Thanks so much for watching. I will see you guys in the next video. Bye!